Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I'd like to welcome you all here to this Educators Forum. It's been a while since we've held one of these. I think the last one I can't remember, but it's a chance for us to come together to talk and discuss, the different developments that are taking place. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the certification. First of all, just let me give it a bit of context, if I may. When we developed the certification back in 2010, I think it was 2010, we spent a lot of time thinking about what was required for the industry, and we kind of looked at these points here. We know that we have a highly diverse and mobile workforce in the industry, and sometimes it can be difficult to understand qualifications and skills that are required for the different levels. We also know that most chefs learn on the job. They're in the industry, they're learning their skills, that's when it all happens. And there's no formal or kind of up-to-date qualifications at that time with regard. I'm talking about Worldchefs now. Employers said they couldn't find the right chefs with the right skills, and they felt there was high recruitment and training costs involved. Chefs couldn't show their skills and experience to potential employers. So there was lack of progression opportunities, if you like, for individuals, and missed talent, I suppose, for employers as well. Lastly, there was no industry benchmark or framework for professional development, inconsistent standards of service, and it also maybe would have had a problem with the industry reputation. So difficult really to attract talented individuals. So what we did was we looked at the typical progression for a chef coming from a commis chef right up to and including the master chef, okay? And so we developed these 9 badges, okay? Now, when I use the word badge, by the way, I just want to explain, badge is a certification. So, each of these levels is a certificate. So you have certified professional cook, chef de partie, sous chef, chef de cuisine, and so on and so forth, okay? And you can see this is the badge that goes, so when you get your certification, this is the badge that's featured on the certificate, okay? So, it's an online process. There's nothing like this in the world, by the way. It doesn't exist for any other industry. So, in that sense, it is very, very unique. So, here we are, certification and growth. Since 2000, and when we changed over in 2016, we relaunched in 2016. To date, we have over 1,500 sign-ups. I know it says line-up. Well, actually, it's online sign-ups. So of that number, we have over 50% who have actually attained certification. We have 700 plus certifications issued to chefs and students from 12 countries. We have 30 preferred school programs. What I mean by that preferred school programs, these are schools that have been brought in as part of our RQCE program. And then after they've been brought in as RQCE programs, we then invite them to have their programs mapped for consideration for fast-track certification. To date, we have over 60 programs within 30 schools successfully mapped. So I think that's a reflection of the type of work that's been going on. We also have 6 partner programs mapped. Now, when I say partner programs, we discussed this maybe last year, and the whole idea of this was that we were getting contacts from partners out there saying, look, we'd like to sit down and talk, and we see a good alignment here. So we spoke to chef associations, and ACF was the first association we spoke to. ACF, for anyone who's in the audience who maybe has accreditation from ACF, knows that there is a national certification program within ACF. So they have all 9 levels certified. So what we did was we mapped their programs. We didn't map them all. We actually mapped 7 of their levels. And the result of that is, when somebody comes forward from ACF and wants to apply for certification through Worldchefs, they can do so through what we call our fast-track system. And I'll explain a little bit more about that now in a few minutes. We also then have the Indian Federation of Culinary Associations, which is IFSA. So they have we have mapped 9 levels of certification for this association. South African Chefs Association, we have mapped 4 levels of their certification program. Disney Shanghai Resort, this is a really interesting story. We had discussions with Alan Oriel 2 years ago in Greece, and it was the beginning of a conversation that was really, I could sense this man has an amazing passion and he has an amazing interest, and he wanted to do something. And he said, look, you know, why don't we get together? So we worked together on the program, the training program. We mapped the program to the requirements of 2 levels, of commis chef level and chef de partie level. And earlier this year, we certified 100 commis chef and 8 chef de parties for Disney Shanghai Resort. Okay? Ruby International is an online cookery school, online culinary school, okay, who have approached us. They are training, doing online training programs, culinary programs, in the Marriott Hotel Group, okay? They have trained over 10,000 chefs. So, you know, I think we have to move with the times today, you know, because we're in a digital age, we need to acknowledge that, you know, it's not all about what goes on in the kitchen as well, it's also about what we can do with online. So there's a mixture of online and hands-on here, okay, the way the program is done. It's a very unique program. Culinary Solutions Australia, well, we just recently signed an agreement there, and it's something that we hope will move forward in the future in a positive way. Okay, so just here, facts and figures. I know Ragnar probably would have presented something like this yesterday. I think he did anyway. So you can see here the revenues that we have in, and then the actual certifications, the growth in certifications. Okay, you can see here that the commis chef has it's fairly busy. It's a busy certification program. Okay, so what happens? When you want to apply for certification, what's the first thing you need to do? Okay, these are the levels we look at here, the tasks. You have the entry requirements, you have your witness testimony, you have your photographs, you have your written tasks, you have your documentary evidence. So the first thing, entry requirement, is relevant experience, employment status, okay? This certification is targeted to chefs who are currently working in the industry. We're not asking for chefs, you know, to come to us and do testing or to do practical testing. We're saying to you, if you're qualified, you come to us, we assess your qualifications, okay, your experience, all of that. And that's all done, documented through evidence that you submit online. So the witness testimony or owner declaration is very important. That witness testimony is signed off by your employer or your manager, whatever, right? So we're depending here on people to be honest and give us, you know, valid information. And in 99%, that is the case. Photographs, technical expertise, and professionalism, this is all part of the whole presentation. But what I want to tell you today is that we're working on something at the moment. We're working on improving the system, and what we want to do is we want to include video of chefs cooking their dishes, okay? So this is the new thing that we're working on at the moment. It'll take time. I think probably take about 6 or 8 months to kind of test it fully. We do want to do that. So that'll happen. Then obviously then the written tasks, the culinary knowledge, the experience, working at the level applied for. So they have to give us examples of how they lead by example and all these kind of things. And then your documentary evidence, which as you can see here, recipes, menus, reviews, articles, editorials, news stories. They can't write about themselves. You know, they have to be able to give us examples of how their reputation has been built within the industry, okay? And then if there are, if it's a culinary educator, well then in a culinary educator it's a slightly different thing. They're asked to submit lesson plans. They're asked to submit, say, examples of good teaching practice, things like that. Okay. So what does this badge show an employer? The first thing about the badge is it's digital. We now live in a digital age, so we're talking here about digital credentialing. So in other words, you know, instead of it being a hard copy CV, like we used to walk into the job under your shoulder, under your Oxter, Elber, whatever you want to call it, you now have this, it's digitized. So, I mean, the employer can actually go and see this before you even go for interview, okay? Because this can be placed up on LinkedIn and so on and so forth. So you can see here the issue is ourselves, and we own it. Worldchefs own the global certification. We own it, we manage it, it's ours. The partnership with City and Guilds is from an accreditation point of view, okay? So if there's a time when we need to maybe, and we're always doing this, we are always reviewing the criteria. We have to review the criteria every so often just to make sure that we're keeping up with changing times and things that are happening within the industry. And then you have to manage a team of assessors, okay, assigned to the different levels. We also have a team of assessors we have assessors assigned to every level. Those assessors are trained on the system. The candidates do not know who their assessor is, okay? We've done this purposely because we don't want candidates contacting assessors saying, listen, you know, I need you, you know, why can't I have what's happening here? You know, the candidate contacts me. I'm the person to contact. So if there's an issue, I contact them to them. And then what happens then with the assessor and myself through the system, we're contactable, okay? And any conversation that takes place or any recording, even from notes that are taken from observations, they're all recorded in our system. The reason we do that is because we then have a quality assurance system. So if we have an audit, our system is audited twice a year. Okay, so I have to go and I have to sit with the people from City and Guilds or wherever, right? And we go through the whole thing. Because if there's any issue with, say, and it's all about credibility of the system as well. It's very important that we have the credibility, you know, that we're doing it right. So the assessment process, as I say here, it's clear to see. The assessors are located across the world. They review the evidence and they make the judgment and so on and so forth. And when the judgment is made, the judgment comes back in a form of a contact to me. I then review it, and as the internal verifier for Worldchefs, I sign it off. So I'm in that sense, that's my role. And then the standards we talked about here, we have the 9 standards here. The quality assurance body, as I said, was City and Guilds, and it's also very important that, you know, it's valid on every level. Okay, so chefs can use existing levels. We have 2 routes into certification, or 2 paths into certification. The first one is what we call the standard path. So the standard path is where you go online, you look at the suite of certification levels, you then make your judgment, make the selection. Make sure you read all the details, all the information beforehand. It's very important that you read the information so that you know that you're applying for the correct level. Because if you apply for the wrong level, well, we have to switch you around, and we don't want to have to do that. We want people to be able to do it. There's no point in, you know, a commie chef applying for a master chef, you know. But sometimes this happens. You know, maybe it's just a little misunderstanding, but it can happen. Okay, so then once they've done that, then you've gone through the standard route, pay the fee, the relevant fee, and then it goes forward. It's assessed, and then it's if extra evidence is required, the candidate gets notice about that. Now, people always say to me, how long does it take to get certified? Well, I could say, how long will it take me to walk from here down to the Expo downstairs? You know? And if Ragnar's walking beside me, he's there 10 minutes before me, because he walks faster than I do. But, like, you know, so it's how quickly you submit the evidence and how quickly you respond if more evidence is required. So, you know, at the end of the day, we like to put a time on it, maybe say 4 to 6 weeks, if we can, because that's reasonable time. Now, we do have chefs in the system who are there for quite some time. That still doesn't matter. They're in the system. Their applications are ongoing, so they're live. They'll be live until they've completed everything, and then they get awarded, so there's no issue. Now, we also have then the fast-track route. So the fast-track route was something that we looked at because we were getting a lot of inquiries about this. So again, what we do is the fast-track is where the chef's programs, let's take ACF as an example. So ACF have their 9 levels fast-tracked. So we have a chef who wants to apply for CEC. He already holds ACF CEC from ACF. He wants to apply for Worldchefs CEC. Very simple. Goes onto the website, click on the fast track button, select the level he wants, if it's AF CEC, pays the fee, submits 2 pieces of evidence. 2 pieces of evidence. A current copy of the current certificate that he holds within ACF. It has to be valid. Has to be valid. And the second piece of evidence is a CV. Okay? That's all they have to do. The rest then, the system then puts it in, it's sent, it's reviewed, it's validated. If there's a situation whereby the certificate is out of date or there's something not there, well then that's the message is sent back to the candidate. The candidate has to correct that. And until such times as all the evidence has been accepted, there will be no award. It just won't happen. The award will be made once they have satisfied all the criteria. That's how simple Fast Track is. So it cuts out all of the long process of having to apply. Is that okay? And then what we were doing is then we kind of, and with the help of the team at the office who have been amazing, fantastic, great support, we have, these are the benefits. So you could get validated. So whether you're a cook or a chef or a culinary educator, you can now have the chance to prove that your skills meet the global standards. By going global, you're using your skills to discover the world and move more easily into places where your abilities are in demand. Get ahead faster, apply anywhere, anytime. This is the beauty about the system. It's mobile, it's online. You could be anywhere. You could be in Timbuktu, whatever, on a camping holiday, whatever, you know. Nothing else to do, just sit around in the sunshine and decide that I'm going to apply for Worldchefs, whatever. No, I'm only joking. So then you have, you also have the fast track as well. Okay, so you can see it's fairly straightforward. And then we also have certification in the media. So we have a chef here, Greg Muller. So Greg, a lot of people are doing this, right? They're putting nice messages on Facebook. In fact, Ray McHugh, Ray, if you don't mind, I would like to mention you. Ray kindly made some nice words when he was recently awarded with Worldchefs Certified Master Chef. So congratulations, chef. And I think you kindly said you found the process interesting, enlightening, but very challenging and informative. Thank you. So you can see here what Chef had say. Chef Muller says here, having the title doesn't change who I am as a chef, but it is an achievement and something that I think more chefs should aspire to. You can learn a lot about yourself. The more you put yourself out there, I think you are forever a student as things evolve and new concepts and cuisines are established. You're always learning and adapting to changes in trends. They say to truly master anything takes 1,000 repetitions. I think that's a great quote. Yeah, it's fantastic. Okay, so then you can see other examples here of stuff in the media. I think we also have a Facebook page. Am I right, Ragnar? I think we have it. I think so. Yeah. Okay, and then so this is Disney. So this was the graduation in Disney about maybe 6 weeks ago, I think it was, which is great. I mean, I think we should give these guys a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. I think this is a great achievement for Disney. And this is only the beginning, I believe, right? And this is Alan's quote here, which is really nice. What I will do is we will kindly send this presentation to you all, okay? So you have it later on. Okay, so then creating career opportunities. This is all about, you know, leading 5-star hotels. We're looking, this is what we did was we worked with a company, their name escapes me. They were a recruitment company. So what we did was we aligned the qualifications to the advertisement. So they were looking at a 5-star. Let's say they're looking at, say, a chef de cuisine. So we then aligned that chef de cuisine requirement with our certification level as well. Okay, so just to put it in there. So that's that has been an interesting little exercise, and I think it'll prove worth in the end. So again, this is another group of students from the art school in Ecuador. Again, these are students who went through the fast track system. So you can see that it was, it's all about, you know, trying to attract the benefits of the certification. It's all about attracting more students by offering their graduates the tools to help them become internationally mobile and to access a global job pool. Also, it helps you to take the culinary program that you have, global, get the program benchmarked against the global industry standards, which are giving your students then the chance, to become qualified where you are and everywhere else. Giving the students a head start, as you can see here as well, which is really, really important. Okay, now, Ragnar referred to this recently, I think yesterday, but this is a FAB award. This is called an Innovation of the Year award. This is, I think it's the first time Worldchefs has ever won an award, as in Worldchefs, the organization, has ever won an award, I think. Not sure. In my lifetime, I'm 20 years in Worldchefs, and I don't believe we've ever won on anything like this. But this is a FAB award. I don't mean FAB as in fabulous. It's called, it is what it is. But it's the Federation of Awarding Bodies, right? And you're up against really stiff competition for this, okay? And we were really chuffed and delighted to win this award. So I think it's again, it kind of gives a little bit more credibility to what we're doing. So as you can see, this is the quote they used. It was for outstanding achievement in awarding a major contribution to the development of world education and skills, which I think is great. So thank you for that. And then we've also featured in our program, our certification program has also featured in some government case studies, okay, where they're actually using our case studies. You can see here where they talk about our partnership with Digital Me. So Digital Me are the company that's are the people who run the badging system for us in the background. So it's all about, looking at lifetime learning and so on and so forth. And there are so many opportunities there for certification, for chefs to become certified. I think our younger people, the people moving into this industry they're the people that really are coming to me saying, we want to be certified. This is what we want. We see a value in this. And there's a currency in certification. It actually has a currency. So, I think it's important that we, try to encourage them, as many of them as possible. Last point I want to make is just on member revenue sharing agreement, and Ragnar touched on it yesterday. For the chef associations, recently we have actually been able to give back some revenue to one of our member chef associations, okay, because of what the arrangement that we have with them for the amount of certification that we have sold, and also for the schools as well. So this is something, if anybody is interested in talking to us about it, please do talk to me. I'll be on the stand downstairs, down in the competition area. Michael's here as well, so we'd like to talk to you all. But it's a great opportunity for chef associations. I mean, think about this. You can use this as a recruiting tool as well. So when you're bringing prospective members into your association, you can say another benefit of being a member of our association is that you can, attain global certification through Worldchefs. These are our sponsors here. As you can see, okay, we have ACF here as a partner. We have Radisson, we have Nestle and Marriott. And that list is going to grow. I've absolutely no doubt about it, that list will grow. The certification's in a really good place at the moment, and I'm really happy about that, because it was a bit of a struggle at the start, but certainly since we brought in the new system, it has just we actually have exceeded our quota for this year. We've well exceeded our quota for this year, which is very encouraging. And I'd also like to thank the schools, all of the schools that have engaged in the mapping process. Excellent work, really excellent work. And giving fantastic detail, and it's great. It's so encouraging that they're encouraging their students, to buy into the certification. So I think that really brings me to the end of my presentation, and just like to thank you all for your attention. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, John Clancy. Thank you, John.